Welcome to 9th grade English, Miss Tao, in Super Memory for Schools programme. My dear students, look at the drawings on the board. Can you guess what today's topic is? It's about clothing. Today we will learn Unit 2, Clothing, Lesson 1, Getting Started. Listen and read. Speaking of clothing, there are a variety of clothing: school clothes, hanging out clothes, winter clothes, summer clothes. Especially today, I will introduce you to the traditional costume of Vietnamese women, that is the áo dài. Let's learn about the vocabulary related to the áo dài. Clothing, poet, poem, musician, traditional, fashion designer, a long silk tunic, to split, pattern, loose, pants, unique, material, fashion designer, convenient, inspiration, fashionable, ethnic minorities, symbol, stripe, cross. And in grammar today, we will learn about the present perfect tense. Now let's learn about today's vocabulary. Clothing, clothing. And in the kinds of clothing, there is a very special costume, the áo dài. The áo dài is the traditional dress of Vietnamese women. Traditional, traditional. Áo dài is mentioned a lot by musicians in many songs. Musician, musician. The poets also mention the áo dài a lot in poems. Poet, poet. Poem, poem. So what does the áo dài consist of? The áo dài includes a long silk tunic, a long silk tunic, a long silk tunic. It is split into two pieces, to split, to split, and is worn outside of loose pants, loose pants, loose pants. However, nowadays women prefer wearing modern clothes at offices because it is more convenient. Convenient, convenient. Therefore, the fashion designers, fashion designer, fashion designer, get inspiration from ethnic minorities. Inspiration, inspiration. Ethnic minorities, ethnic minorities. They also use different materials. Material, material. They also add symbols. Symbol, symbol. Stripe, stripe. Or cross, cross. Besides, they also add patterns on the áo dài. Pattern, pattern. To make the áo dài more fashionable. Fashionable, fashionable. And to make the áo dài be unique, only costume of Vietnamese women. Unique, unique. We have learnt vocabulary related to the topic of the áo dài. Let's review the vocabulary. Clothing, poet, poem, musician, traditional, fashion designer, a long silk tunic, to split, pattern, loose pants, unique, material, convenient, inspiration, fashionable, ethnic minorities, symbol, stripe, cross. Next, let's come to the grammar part. And today we will learn about the present perfect tense. Please look at the time chart on the picture. I have 3 timelines: past, present, and future. I would like to say that I have lived there for 10 years. 10 years. My actions have happened from the past to the present and can be maintained till the future. If I use the past simple, it would not be correct because this action could be maintained until the future. If I use the present simple or the future simple, it would not be correct because this living action had already started in the past. Therefore, I will use another tense, which is I have lived here for 10 years. the present perfect. Today we will learn about the present perfect tense. Please observe my example. I have lived here 10 years. My verb is have lived. I have the following structure. In the active form, subject plus have or has, plus verb, past participle, which is called past participle. In the passive form, subject plus have or has, plus not plus verb, past participle. And in the questions, we will put have or has at the beginning of the sentence, have or has plus subject plus verb, past participle. So how can we distinguish when we use has and when we use have? If your subjects are he, she, it, or the single noun, you will use has. If your subjects are I, you, we, they, or plural nouns, you will use have. Besides, please notice that in the past form, have plus not, haven't, and has plus not, hasn't. Next, I will introduce you to the verb participle. So what is the verb participle? The verb participle consists of regular verbs and irregular verbs. Regular verbs are verbs that obey rules, and we will add ed at the end of the verb, such as live, lived, study, studied, play, played. And about the irregular verbs, please use them in the third column in the table of irregular verbs called V3. For instance, be, was, were, been, go, went, gone, see, saw, seen, and other examples. So what does the present perfect describe? The present perfect describes an action. Firstly, has just happened, or happened in the past, not in a particular time. Or an action started from the past and lasts till the present and can be maintained to the future. So how can we know that it is the present perfect tense? We can base on the following words. We have the following words and phrases about time: just, recently, lately, ever, never, already, yet, so far, until now. Especially in the present perfect tense, we have two prepositions, since and for. Since. After since, we add the time point. For example, since last year, since Monday. For. After for, we add a period of time. For example, for 2 years, for 3 weeks, for a long time. So let's review today's vocabulary and grammar. Clothing, clothing. Poet, poem. Musician, traditional. Fashion designer, a long tunic. To slit, pattern. Loose pants. Unique. Material. Convenient. Inspiration. Fashionable. Ethnic minorities. Symbol. Stripe. Cross. And about grammar, please remember that today we learnt the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense. In the active form, we have subject plus have or has plus verb, past participle. In the passive form, subject plus have or has plus not plus verb, past participle. And the question, have or has plus subject plus verb plus past participle. Our lesson ends here. I hope you learn well. See you again in the next English lesson of mine, Miss Tao, in the Super Memory for Schools programme. Goodbye and see you later.